Hello, E-Ray Taronic here, master weaver of mystery suspense thrillers as well as broadcaster of astrology. I'm here to bring you your Thursday, Friday, Saturday astrology for the week of November 14th, 2021. Now, first of all, I'd like to say thank you for those of you who purchased and will be reviewing my newest psychological thriller, Deadliest Intuition. I really appreciate all the birthday support you guys came out and brought me, all of the people who purchased autographed copies and all of the people who purchased paperbacks and ebooks. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Now, I'm going to let you know, because I know your time is valuable. I'm going to let you know what your challenges are going to be this week, your opportunities, and your assistance. But before I get into that, I want to make sure that you guys know on Thursday on Cool Conversations with LaShira Lee, there will be an interview with actor, comedian, Kiana Dancy at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Thursday. So check out Cool Conversations with LaShira Lee on Facebook. In addition to that, on Friday, you can check out Freestyle Friday with the Facebook group ICU Reading and Chatting. Every Friday, if you want to participate as an artist, you can contact Ebony Evans. She's the president of ICU Reading and Chatting Book Club on Facebook. If you haven't checked out Latoya Chandler yet, you definitely should. She is Mental Chatter Musings Spotlight of the Month. You can check out one of her novels, or you can go on over to Treasures and Spoils and check out her candle lines. Her products are exemplary. I'm actually a consumer of hers, so I can attest to that. You will not be disappointed if you purchase her products. If you're looking for a Christmas stocking stuffer, check out A Perfectly Fine Christmas by LaJill Hunt. The novel is out everywhere books are sold. Make sure you read and review. It is the bookish thing to do. Let's get into your astrology. Hello, Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising Sign people. E-Ray Taronic here to give you your astrology portion of your reading for the week of November 14th, 2021. This is going to be Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. I'll attach the tarot portion from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday at the end so that you can listen to it if you require more clarity as to your week. Now, make sure you like and subscribe. It lets me know you appreciate the content that I'm putting out. On Thursday, November the 18th, the Sun in Scorpio at 26 degrees is an angle that favors education and pursuits in justice and even law. If you have any placements between 23 and 29 degrees of Scorpio, which is your area of work, health, daily routines, and where you are of service to other people, knowledge is power here. Now, Mercury in Scorpio at 20 degrees will trine Neptune in Pisces, so a blessing comes under the guise of communication. Maybe a dream, maybe an illusion, delusions, maybe a spark of inspiration comes into play here for you. But this is where you put in the work, okay? Something comes to you as far as career, some spark of inspiration. The communication that sparks that up has to do with work, health, daily routines, where you are of service to other people, or maybe even a small pet. But nevertheless, this is some sort of blessing that comes into you in the way of work or career, or maybe whatever it is you master. Now, the moon in Taurus will directly oppose Scorpio at 20 degrees, so don't get caught up. Watch out for ill-intentioned people who intend to diminish your worth or your resources in some way. Make sure it's not you that's working against yourself as well. Now, this is about work, health, daily routines, and where you are of service to others, as well as secrets, sacrifice, solitude, closure, healing, and spirituality. There's a clash there with some people that you work with or that you are of service to. Okay, so if you have any placements between 17 and 23 degrees, you need to look out for that. There are some people around you who intend to diminish your worth in some way. Now, on Friday, the 19th, the Sun is in Scorpio at 27 degrees. If you have placements between 24 and 29 degrees of Scorpio, Leo, Aquarius, or Taurus, you really want to watch out because this is an angle of misfortune. whether it's from violence, theft, or loss. Be mindful of your belongings and the people around you. Now, Scorpio is your sector of work, health, daily routines, and where you are of service to other people. So you're going to want to watch out for all of those areas. Watch out for during your daily routines as well, especially during travel near and far, because it squares your areas of Leo and Aquarius. Taurus directly aspects it, so I would be careful in that area as well. But definitely with communication, watch what you say, because you don't want to get into any fights. Watch out with your siblings, neighbors, your networks of people. Even during short distance travel, you can have a tiff or some violence can pop off. Maybe even your car can get stolen. So you really want to watch out for that as well. Make sure you lock your car, especially if your belongings are inside. Aquarius squares that area too. Long distance travel, education and skills, what you think and preach, your morals, your spirituality. You might have someone wanting to argue with you about what you think and preach because they don't agree with what you think and preach. And this would be someone at a distance from you that you deal with at work, or maybe even during your daily routines where you are of service to people. So if you have placements, and like I said, between those degrees within those signs, you want to be very mindful on Friday. Now, around 1 p.m., the moon at 1 degree will couple with the North Node in Gemini at 1 degree. And so this is for you about your self, your first impressions, your image. Okay. With the moon there, you're thinking about, how are you going to forge to your highest aspirations? How can you elevate your image? Okay, how can you expand your reach? This is through your relationships. So you're looking at what relationships can help me get to where I need to get. Okay, now it's making a fated aspect to Juno as well. So you have chances to partner with or to make commitments with people to raise your stature, I would say, and also raise your shared finances. Help you to forge toward your highest aspirations as it pertains to things you're passionate about, sex and intimacy, endings and new beginnings. All of those areas are aspecting you, and you can join new partnerships and garner some type of finances or even work on things you're passionate about. Here is where you can overcome a challenge and forge toward your highest aspirations if you remain devoted to your beliefs in education. So don't miss this opportunity to move forward. It's time to commit to whatever it is you master. Gemini, Capricorn, and Sagittarius placements between 0 and 3 degrees are aspected. Now, Venus in Capricorn at 12 degrees trines Uranus in Taurus at 12 degrees. So a shocking blessing can show up under the guise of romance, finances, and pleasure if you have placements between 9 and 15 degrees of Capricorn or Taurus. This also speaks of artistic recognition that can show up for some. If this is in love, let's hope the blessing doesn't cause friction between you and a lover. Remember to be a lover, not a fighter. Now, this is about Taurus and Capricorn for you. So the blessing is coming behind the scenes. It's secret. It's coming through secret, sacrifice, solitude, and even closure that you're gaining. Now, while the blessing that's coming in for you could have to do with secret sacrifices you've made, maybe things you've done in your solitude, you can still garner blessings in your area of Capricorn, which would be shared finances, creating the endings and new beginnings you want. It can come to you by way of intimacy and even things that you're passionate about if you have those placements between 9 and 15 degrees. Now, Lilith in Gemini is making a fated aspect to Mars and Scorpio at 13 degrees. Your instincts can really get you into trouble on Friday in this area if you have placements between 10 and 16 degrees of Gemini or Scorpio. And it can get you in trouble at work, in health, during your daily routines, where you are of service to other people, maybe even with a small pet. Focus on where you can gain the most as opposed to wasting energy where rewards can't be had. Here's where you want to be mindful of being taken advantage of as well by people at work or that you're of service to. Keep your lips sealed, okay? if you have placements between 10 and 16 degrees of Gemini or Scorpio. Now the full moon is coming up. It's the partial lunar eclipse at 27 degrees Taurus. This partial lunar eclipse, you can feel it already, but it's going to be impacting us for the next 3 months. It's a partial eclipse, so yeah, I would say 3 months. Because it's a lunar eclipse, it promises that we're all giving something up. You're giving something up behind the scenes. It may be secret to others. It may be a sacrifice you're making. It may cause you to have to be in your solitude. Okay, it maybe it hampers your closure, healing as well. But whatever it is, it's definitely something you're giving up in those areas. Now let's talk about, well, first of all, this angle is where practice makes perfect. This is where you could suffer losses if you don't practice, if you don't hone your skills. It's also an angle where assistance must be appreciated. Show your gratitude for people helping you, lest it could be lost. Now, let's look at the blessings, opportunities, and challenges that are going to show up for you if you have placements within 24 to 29 degrees of any of the signs that I name for the next few months. Okay, remember. Now, this is Taurus behind the scenes. It's about secret, sacrifice, and solitude, even closure for you, even spirituality or endings. The friction is going to be with people at a distance from you. You could be losing something in the way of someone at a distance from you, someone that leaves because of how they feel about your morals, of what you think and preach, your education and skills. You could be losing people there, but Jupiter's there. So right at 23 degrees. So I wouldn't really worry too much about that area. But your other area that squares that area is work. Oh, Lord have mercy. Let me calm down. The other area that squares that area could be communication, siblings, your networks of people, neighbors, short distance travel. Okay, so travel across the board is aspected. So you want to watch out for like a vehicle. Make sure you got it prepared. Make sure you got it taken care of. Make sure you got everything, all the maintenance up to date, or you could lose a vehicle. In addition to that, you want to make sure, it's nothing you can really do because, you want to make sure you're not telling people your secrets, because in your networks of people and with your neighbors and your siblings and stuff like that, if they find out you're doing certain things, or they find out you've been maybe said something or lied to them or anything like that, you could be losing, some of those relationships. Work, health, daily routines, and where you are of service to others, which is Scorpio, directly aspects that area. So you could be losing something, behind the scenes at work, someone you're of service to. It could have to do with your health, so you want to be very mindful, because those are your areas that square each other, where you're giving something up. And like I said, everybody probably won't know about this, what you're losing or giving up, but you'll definitely know. Now, as far as your blessings that are going to come to you for this full moon, they're going to be in home and family. And they're going to come into you behind the scenes. And they're going to have to do with shared finances, endings, new beginnings, things you're passionate about, even sex and intimacy. All of those areas will be great areas for you, even garnering finances behind the scenes for a home. Your assistance is coming in through Pisces and Cancer. Okay, so that would be career and money and resources. You'll have opportunities to work in your solitude and make sacrifices, doing something that you master, working in career, and it's going to bring you money and resources throughout this next few months. You might even be helping people spiritually if you are a person who does like spiritual baths, tarot, Reiki, or whatever it is, you could garner money that way as well behind the scenes. Now on Saturday, the 20th, this is a single transit. The sun is in Scorpio at 28 degrees. This is an angle that favors the clever. And this is about you being clever in your area of work, health, daily routines, and where you are of service to others. Here is where knowing when to keep things under wraps bodes well for you. Okay. Now, this squares your area of Aquarius and Leo. So that's travel across the board. You know, being clever during travel. This is so maybe you're going somewhere and it's better you don't tell somebody. Taurus directly aspects this area, so this is about maybe some things that you need to keep secret, and you shouldn't let out. Your siblings, communication, your networks of people squares this area for you kind of getting into it with people at work. So you want to be clever in that way and not let it bring you down, you know what to say, know what not to say, you know, don't cause too much static. If you have any placements in Scorpio, Leo, Taurus, or Aquarius on Saturday between 25 and 29 degrees, this is aspecting you. Now, around noon, the moon in Gemini at 13 degrees makes a fated aspect to Venus in Capricorn at 13 degrees. Something fated will show up as it pertains to romance, finances, and pleasure. But you want to beware of insincere people, because someone could be using you or trying to attach themselves to you just for gain, especially if you have placements between 10 and 16 degrees of Gemini or Capricorn. Now, this is about shared finances. People trying to attach themselves to you because of shared finances, to create the endings and new beginnings they want to, because of the things you're passionate about. They might want to connect to you. Sex and intimacy as well. People might want to connect to you. So be very mindful that whoever you're pulling in, that it's not an insincere person, because you very well could be pulling someone in who is planning to use you, if you have placements between that 10 and 16 degrees. Now, around, I'd say 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the moon in Gemini at 14 degrees will make a fated aspect to Mars and Scorpio. So a challenge can surface that requires your energy. Just check your work to pay ratio and your work to play ratio. Is it fair? Enhance your skills if not, because you can, if you increase your worth, you increase, if you increase your skills or enhance your skills, you increase your value. Otherwise, you could find yourself cheated if you have placements between 11 and 17 degrees of Gemini and Scorpio. And this is about work, health, daily routines, and where you are of service to others. Make sure you're not exhausting yourself as well. I've attached the tarot portion to the end, and it's coming up next. God bless you guys. Hi, Gemini, Sun, Moon, or Rising Sign people. Ira Taronic here with your tarot portion of your reading for the week of November 14th, 2021. Now, make sure you like and subscribe. It helps me to know that you appreciate the content that I'm putting out. Okay, so let's get into your week. It's permeated by the Emperor card. So either you're dealing with an old-fashioned person, maybe even an old-fashioned male who is used to things being a certain way, and you have to adhere to that. You could be a Moon or Rising sign, Aries or Taurus person. Or you could just be dealing with some type of authority. Okay, maybe this is a person that's good at building lasting structures too. So it might be someone who's an authority at your at an institution or something like that, a job or something like that. But either way, your world is changing, Gemini. There's things changing right now, and you're being asked by Spirit to persevere through it. Persevere through it and honor your death and rebirth. You're coming in because you have the Strength card and you have the Death card. So you could be dealing with a Leo or a Scorpio, someone, a rising sign person, or you're just being asked to have strength as it pertains to your new rebirth, because that's what you're doing. You are indeed going through some type of rebirth, okay, an ending and a new beginning. And it's not harsh, don't make it more harsh than it is. You just honor that rebirth, that rebirth energy. Now, you got the Tower card, but you got the Tower card upside down. Okay, with the Tower card upside down, that can point to an avoidable disaster. Okay, that's of your own making. You're fearing change. You're being resistant. You might be dealing with dishonesty or being dishonest, or delving into willful oblivion, and be in danger of losing everything. You need to do what you can while there's still time. Okay, this has to do with you persevering through something. And the nine, you have the 9 of Wands, but it looks like you're choosing to not persevere through it. You're delving into defensiveness, paranoia. You might even be at full capacity and not able to take on anything else. It seems like your nerves are kind of frayed. Maybe you should put important decisions to the side right now, especially with your nerves being frayed the way they are, if that's the case, because you're not wanting to move on. You're carrying some type of baggage. You're enforcing some type of delay as to your moving forward and your rebirth. And you're being stagnant because you're choosing to be stagnant, okay? I know you want a break, but now's the time for a break. It's not the time for a break. You got to keep going. You got to push forward, and you got to really move yourself into this rebirth instead of staying stagnant and trying to, you got to move on. There's some inability to move on, and it's telling you to move on because you're halting your own progress by not moving on. There's some type of partnership aspecting you. A passionate partnership, maybe somebody who moves in and out, maybe it's a Leo, Sun, Moon, or rising sign person, Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries, Sun, Moon, or rising sign person, offering you some type of partnership, and you're waiting to make a decision on that partnership, or there is some type of peaceful transition or peace being restored. The turmoil is calmed down a little bit as it pertains to your stability with this Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries person, or within this partnership. Okay, there's some type of choice that needs to be made, and right now you have the time to think about what choice you want to make. Now, your challenges and advice are permeated by the 2 of Wands, and the 2 of Wands talks about planning, okay, progress, being able to, make plans for the future and decide things for the future. Your challenge is you having the strength to persevere, having the strength to use all the tools that you need at your disposal to create what you want to create so that you can move forward passionately. Okay. You're might have a problem this week too with communicating too hastily. So you want to be mindful of waiting until more is revealed to you. And while you're waiting, delve into your creativity. If you're joining new creative relationships or you're planning for the future, then you need to take a grounded approach to whatever it is you're planning for. You also might want to take some time to delve into your creativity and maybe listen to some music. Listening to music can always raise your vibration, and maybe that will open up your mind as far as your creativity, okay? Because you need to be planning, to move forward. Instead, as opposed to paying attention to what cups have spilled over, because you got the 5 of Cups upside down. So instead of not moving, accept things and move on. It's about forgiveness and healing. It's about emotional wounds being healed. It's about a broken dream or some heartbreak being left behind. Okay, you need to leave that behind and step into your justice. Balance the scales by stepping into your justice, by honoring your rebirth, by starting anew. Okay, and that's how you move forward. That's how you honor yourself. That's how you honor justice. That's how you balance the scales, by moving forward and healing. Okay, and letting things go and not staying in a place of resentment. Okay, I hope this helped. God bless you, and I'll see you next week. Bye now.